Okay, Peter, so today, really, I wanted to talk about another curiosity that's popped up in the world of boxing. So McGregor Pacquiao, a fight that McGregor first announced, on his Twitter feed, and everybody thought, oh, yeah, come on, that's never going to happen. And then all of a sudden, Pacquiao chimed in and said, yeah, it is going to happen. And, it now looks like, something that is reasonably going to happen. Now, interestingly enough, Pacquiao signed for the same management company McGregor is with about a couple of months ago. So that seems to make the whole thing, work. And so we're talking about McGregor's second boxing match. Now, this is very interesting. I was trying to work out this, Peter, the other day. If it does come off with Pacquiao, and probably the reason Pacquiao is doing it is McGregor managed to generate the amazing showman, an amazing salesman. He got paid upwards of $300 million for that fight, as did Mayweather. I'm talking about the Mayweather-McGregor fight. And, so Pacquiao's probably looking at that as a retirement package. And Pacquiao, being Pacquiao, has already said, I'm going to give a large proportion of my earnings from this fight to COVID relief in the Philippines. So, again, always a humanitarian. But, if this fight comes off, this is an interesting bit of trivia. So he earned $300 million for 10 rounds against Mayweather. Let's say he does the same against Pacquiao. And let's say he lasts 10 rounds. I don't think he'll last 10 rounds against Pacquiao, but lasts a bit less. He's going to be earning upwards of £10 million per competitive professional boxing round. Now, he'll probably finish his boxing career 0-2, with being stopped twice. And he will have earned, 10 to $15 million per round. So I reckon that makes him, arguably, could be the most successful boxer of all time under certain metrics. So this is going to be a great pub quiz. But let's look into whether the reality of this fight is going to come to pass. Now, what they've said is that this fight is going to happen in late December, early January. McGregor tweeted the Middle East. Pacquiao was saying, the management company is saying they're looking at other venues. So that could be maybe because they're trying to up the site fee for whoever gets it in the Middle East, because the world eyes will be on it. So we're looking maybe Saudi Arabia. But I think the likelihood is quite likely that it will happen. I know it'll upset the boxing purists. But also, let's go back and we could look at Pacquiao's amazing career, across those 5 weight divisions. And the amazing thing is, at 43, he still seems to be going strong. Obviously, last year he beat Keith Thurman, a real young, sort of hot guy, big puncher, and and Mayweather dominated him early. Pacquiao dominated him early in the fight, and then there were patches where he was struggling a little bit, but he came out to win on points. And that's a really a top level guy. So he's still very, and in that fight he won the WBA welterweight title. So he's a world champion. He's a legitimate world champion, even at 43, and obviously he's a legend. Now, if we look back at McGregor's boxing career, we know all about his MMA career and the 2-weight world champion, all that sort of thing. But, and this is going to upset some of the boxing brethren here. I don't think he did too badly in the Mayweather fight. There seems to be a sort of thing going around now that, Mayweather carried him and, all that sort of thing. I don't think he did, really. I mean, I think what happened is Mayweather was 40 years old. He'd been off for 2.5 years. He came back for that fight for the money, thought it was going to be an easy night. Obviously, I think McGregor did quite well. McGregor worked out, he's a bigger guy, he's a longer guy. He thought, keep this long. And you've got to remember, Floyd is a counterpuncher. Floyd likes to sit back, let you make your moves, and he picks you off. And he's superlative at it, probably the best that's ever done it. So, but, as a counterpuncher, it's difficult to fight someone who's so long as McGregor and, is just trying to pot shot from the outside and move around. So, eventually, the fight, so I thought McGregor was leading the early rounds, and he was winning some battles, but he was always going to lose the war, and we knew that. And then Floyd had to say, right, look, I'm going to come and get you. I'm going to come and make it uncomfortable for you. And eventually I'll get you. And then you saw Floyd coming forward. And when did you ever see Floyd coming forward like that? This is Floyd, this is the Floyd we all know. But, Floyd's coming forward, made McGregor feel uncomfortable, put the pressure on McGregor, which obviously he couldn't handle because he'd never been in that environment. It was all new territory to him. He wasn't sure what Floyd was going to do, and just the sheer intensity for McGregor made him absolutely exhausted. And the inevitable happened. Floyd walked him down and stopped him in the 10th round. But I don't think it was a bad performance for his first fight. Going in with Pacquiao, it's going to be a slightly different kettle of fish. Pacquiao's an aggressive fighter, a come-forward fighter. So Pacquiao will come out of the blocks looking for McGregor. Now, how are they going to make this fight? Because Pacquiao is the legitimate WBA world welterweight champion. And I was looking at the WBA rules, and it says that, one, you have to be a ranked contender with the WBA. Now, the WBA are a sort of law unto themselves, so they could potentially rank McGregor. I mean, I think they'd be laughed out of town if they did. Secondly, it does say in the rules you have to have won your last fight. So McGregor is 0-1 as a boxer, so he doesn't count for the WBA title. But anyway, they've said what they're going to do is probably do this north of welterweight, which obviously will give McGregor some advantage. Will weigh it slightly towards him because he is a bigger guy than Pacquiao. And so it's not going to be for the WBA title. Probably going to be over 10 rounds in the Middle East. So that, I think, is what we're looking at seeing. But like I say, the interesting thing as well is McGregor being the consummate, brilliant salesman that managed to sell the world, his first fight, his first boxing match with Mayweather as a legitimate contest and got those amazing pay-per-view buys globally. Can he do that trick a second time? Because if he can't, if everybody gives it, look, McGregor, you come on, you've got to go back to the drawing board. You want to be taken seriously as a boxer. As everybody said, you've got to have a few fights against people, build yourself up, learn the trade. You can't just jump in at this level. But can he sell that to the world again? My suspicion is, he's such a character, he probably can. Maybe it's not going to be the Floyd thing. Maybe it's not going to be the imponderable thing. And to be fair to McGregor as well, he is a great fighter. He is a great athlete. He's a great combat athlete. But you've got to remember, when you put this guy into a boxing ring, you're taking away most of his tools. You're taking away the kicks. You're taking away the elbows. You're taking away the ground game. So he's not left with a lot. So, I got a kind of a bit of sympathy. I think he did well against Mayweather, considering I think he'd do well against Pacquiao, considering I think he gets stopped earlier because I think Pacquiao will come looking for him. But, he'll probably make a lot of money. And like I say, in years to come, it's going to be the best pub trivia quiz in the world. Who finished their career with no wins and 2 losses, 2 stoppage losses, and had arguably the most successful career in boxing ever? If you miss out from a financial point of view, that's your question. So it's going to be a great ballyhoo. They're going to sell it to us really well. It looks like it's coming up in the Middle East, January, December, January, and I think it's to be honest with you, Peter. I know again the boxing brethren are going to hate me for this. I think it's going to be fun, and if you look at it as a bit of fun, not as a serious contest, not as something that waters down Pacquiao's legacy, then I think that's all it's going to be, and let's let it roll. That's all I can say. Now, as we've talked about, Peter, there's lots of crazy stuff happening in the world of boxing. Pacquiao's tweeting, McGregor's tweeting, Mayweather's tweeting, he's even going in with Logan Paul. And, it's all getting a bit crazy, and I'm waiting for them to start talking about Rumble, and I'm sure they will. But in the meantime, it's being picked up on the UK boxing scene, and a lot of characters are coming in, and we have the Wilston Raider has decided he wants to chime in and have a few words about Rumble Live coming up on the 31st.
31st of October, the Rumble Live at South Mornington Boxing Show. Tune in to watch my good friend Gary Tyndall take on Dale May. It's going to be a really good fight. Dale May, if you want some, Gary Tyndall will deal with you. You want some?
Right, so yeah, just a bit of a training update. I think we're 4 or 5 weeks in. Training's going really well, down to 5 days a week now. So a bit of sprinting, a couple of runs a week, technical stuff at Team Pete with Kyle. Yeah, it's going really well.
Weight coming off?
Yeah, down from that 112 kilos. I think I'm about 106, 107 now. So. Like I said, when I first started boxing, it was mainly to lose weight because I was sitting around 18 and a half. Got down to about 16, thought that was a bit too light. I sort of lost my power with that. So yeah, I think 17's the best weight for me.
We're 4 weeks out. Feeling ready?
Yeah, feeling ready. Could go tonight, I reckon.
Lovely job. So where are you fighting, Jack?
So South Morton Boxing Club, the Rumble, 31st of October. Yeah, really looking forward to it.
So you're going to share the link of the YouTube link to everybody?
Yeah.
Get all your fans watching?
Yeah, all on Instagram as well. JJD1990 I think is my little handle on there. Yeah, just try and get as many people as watching as possible.
My name's Tom. I'm from Cape Town. And I'll be representing South Africa in my fight against Simon Barlow on October 31st. Feeling very strong, feeling very fit, and all I can do is wish Simon the best of luck.
Hello, my name is Liam Murphy, doing a weekly update for John. 4 weeks out from the fight now, training today. Training's going really well, feeling strong, really fit, ready to go. Yeah, working over techniques now, bit of bag work tonight, Sunday sparring again, spar with all the lads that are fighting on the show from Team Pete. Look forward to it, yeah, really looking forward to it. Like I said, I feel ready, I'm ready to go.
Weights on point?
What's that?
Weights on point?
Weights on point, yeah. Feeling, like I said, heavy, strong, more muscular, more powerful. Yeah, feeling good at this weight. It's the first time I've fought at this weight before, and it feels natural to me. It feel like a lot more, yeah, just feel a lot more natural.
When can we see your fight?
What's that?
When can we see your fight?
Fighting on the 31st of October. Down in Didcot at Southport Gym. I'll keep everyone updated on YouTube and in my Instagram. Yeah, and you can watch it live.
What's your handle on Instagram?
What's that?
What's your handle on Instagram?
At Murphy Island 28. At Murphy Island 28.
Alright guys, just posting a video about a training update. 4 weeks out from the fight now, so we're looking at putting on updates every week, every Wednesday about the training. This week it's been good, like I said, almost exactly 4 weeks to go before Halloween, so that's the fight night. This week's looked pretty good. Played sport on the weekend and then had a rest day on Sunday. And then it's been CrossFit conditioning Monday, Tuesday. And then today again, this morning 9:30, got another CrossFit conditioning, and then I'll be in the gym later on for some bag work as well. So CrossFit conditioning class down at the Athlete Centre in Didcot, that's where I train, do most of my training, and then into my sparring down at CMA and Team Pete Basingstoke, which has been going really well. Missed Sunday because of work, but I'm back in again at this week, and then I'll probably have four more weeks down there, all the way through till the fight. Really looking forward to it now. Just building up the training, and then I'll be tapering it off sort of on the Wednesday towards the end of the fight. But obviously I'll speak to you next week anyway. Looking like it's going to be a good fight. I know George is training hard. You know, diet's going well, coming off nicely. I've only got to make 90 kilos pretty much for cruiserweight. That's what the cruiserweight title's up for, me and George Pickett. I'm about 93.5, 94 now, so I'm going to keep that on for another week or so, and then just start tapering down the food. It's an easy weight cut for me. I used to making weight cuts a lot bigger than that, so it's going to be good. First feel energised for the fight. And like I say, 9:30 this morning at the Athlete Centre, did CrossFit conditioning, and then I'll be in the gym again later on today, and then moving into the working week, so it's going to be good. Just balancing the gym around shift work and all that. Usual for me, so it's going to be good. Looking forward to it. I know George is training hard and dieting hard, hopefully, and looking forward to the fight.
Yeah, so a little weekly update on me fighting Grant Barber, the policeman. See, he's been training between shift work, being a policeman. It's been interesting viewing, that's for sure. Yeah, so with them videos coming out, it's been a bit of a giggle for me. I've been training really hard through lockdown personally, put on a bit of size, kept fit. Then I've seen his videos come out, so I've decided to have a week off. So, cheers Grant. But yeah, so having a week off, bit of relaxing, chilling out, off to London tomorrow for a few days. Then be back to it after that, but it's not anything really to worry about. I've beaten him twice already. Who do you think he is, really? Yeah, just looking forward to the fight. You know, who doesn't want to punch a policeman? Nah, seriously, he's a lovely bloke though. He's a lovely bloke. He's a nice lad. We go way back, training with CMA, Team Pete, but I'm also doing a bit with Roman Ship. So training at Pure Gym, doing some weights, adding that size. Just can't wait, but just going to enjoy my week off really. Sound.
Hi guys, thanks for struggling. First diary video training, well, supposed to be training video diary, 5 weeks out to the fight, but unfortunately for me this week, no training. I've had an infection from on antibiotics. I've been quite poorly this week. I can't really walk properly or anything like that, so obviously no good for boxing. A bit disappointing. Sort of got a bit of energy to use up and can't do anything with it, but resting up, hopefully be back at it once the antibiotics have run their course. So I'm on that till Monday, so hopefully I'll be back in. But 100% still up for the fight, of course. Looking forward to it. Like I said, 5 weeks out. Looking forward to getting in there, and still looking forward to going to war with Ben Rodriguez. Take care, guys. Bye bye.